use all those things and experiences it in the way I designed it.
Mr. Study, can you mute, please?
Yeah. Okay.
Please mute your microphone.
I should move my
Is it
microphone.
Mute your microphone, please.
Okay, okay.
All right, thank you.
all right, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, all right. So let's continue. So I'll be using some examples from my experiences throughout this whole speech, and I know some of you are already in tech and want to discover or pave the path for your future endeavors, right? And some of you are new and want to break into the tech. So the following information is actually good for both audiences, whether you're new or you've been in the tech industry for a while, because this is really all mindset based, right? Just learning how to become invincible and having that mindset, to have that invincible mindset, and to really develop your early career. And also, I'll be talking about networking, doing the right way, because there's a lot of different ways to network, but you got to make sure that the networking that you're doing actually makes sense and it helps you. All right, so right now the whole job market for tech is crazy. You're in a competitive job market, and it's essentially a job itself when you're trying to apply for these jobs, and especially if you're trying to break into tech. If it were 10 to 20 years ago, every one of us here will easily be accepted into tech. And of course, it's not 10 or 20 years ago. So it's become a very competitive space where we need to really just bring ourselves, become invincible, and be able to applying, keep building yourself. So let's talk about the invincible mindset, right? So the invincible mindset starts with keeping at it. What that means is never give up. Whether you're creating an artwork or designs or coding a website, keep on working on it. Keep building, keep practicing, doing all that to build your skill set. In order for you to build your muscle, you need to work out that muscle, right? So it's no different when it comes to doing this something that you want to do, or something that you want to achieve in the future. Imagine you want to do something, but you slack off or you make excuses and that you have no time. If you don't do it, it'll never happen. Shoot your shot. You've probably heard of Wayne Gretzky's quote many times. You miss 100% of all the shots you don't take. So just like if you're pursuing a guy or girl, right? If you never ask them out on a date, nothing will ever happen. Of course, always be respectful in that manner. Which brings me to the next item, understanding criticism. In order for you to grow and understand, you need to learn how to take criticism, understand it, absorb it, and create a plan of action to become better. If a guy or girl says no to you, your reaction should be, okay, I respect that answer. In your head, you might be thinking, you don't know what you're missing out on, but you'll let them know that you understand, or you'll try to understand and really learn what mistakes or what made them say no, right? Maybe you're just not their type. So it's really out of your power, right? So it's similar to applying and getting rejected for jobs, isn't it? This is where you become better, and you learn to become better. Always focus on becoming the better self for tomorrow. So if there are people online just disrespecting you or your work for the sake of just disrespecting, just ignore it. There's no need to get back at them. Nothing good will come out just feeding the trolls, right? And there's plenty of trolls nowadays, especially on the internet. So if this happens in the work environment, consult with HR, because they exist for a reason. Overall, make sure you learn something from others when they have a response for you or your work. You'll be able to tell if they mean well, and if you and they'll definitely let you know if you can improve yourself or not. That's how you improve your craft. Just asking questions. Ask why this is bad or why this can be improved. How can it be improved? Just have that conversation. Now, be open to learning more. You have to have a mindset. In order to be invincible, you have to have a mindset of learning, keep on learning. never stop learning. You can take a break from learning, but always be open to learning more. Always say yes to learning, especially if it's related to the field that you want to be in, right? In this case, tech. Keep on learning the new trends. Keep on learning new things, like what new AI program is out today, because AI is getting big significantly, and it's gonna be exponentially bigger in the future as well. So if you're a programmer, let's say you're a programmer, right? You want to learn multiple different platforms to code. Like a 3D game artist who makes character models, they get better chances if they learn how to rig a character, or make the joints move around, right? When they model a character. So if you're doing coding, if you know HTML, it's very beneficial if you add CSS to your arsenal of knowledge. Of course, you do this on your spare time, or ask if you're or if you're working, ask if your company can sponsor something like that, right? Because many times, a lot of companies, they want you to grow, they want you to learn more, so that you can benefit the company a lot more in the future. So keep that in mind. Now, this one thing, especially me, I'm a big introvert, so I'm always doing something that I'm comfortable with. Like even this meeting, I'm not really comfortable, but I'm trying new things to get comfortable and get into the zone, so that I learn these new experiences. I practice that and building that muscle, right? So getting out of your comfort zone is a big one. If anything, this is the hardest to do, because you're going out of your house. You're getting out of what you're used to do, right? So for me, it's naturally harder for me because I'm an introvert. It's naturally harder for me to network with people because I'm an introvert. I rather keep to myself most of the time, and I rather just really mind my own business, which is sort of unhealthy in a way, but I didn't want that for myself anymore. So I just got out, started networking. So for the past 3 months, I've been networking. I've met thousands of people. A lot of people that helped me, and a lot of people that were sort of neutral. And there's a couple of people that didn't really care. So those you could just ignore because they don't benefit you. You don't have to talk to them because you're not forced to, right? So you got to break free from your imprisoned mentality. I broke free from my imprisoned mentality, and I forced myself to do things that I was not used to. I joined many groups that are based in New York City. I live in New York City, and I actually joined these groups that have the same like-mindedness, and all these networking events. I just met so many different people. And I attended several in-person and online meetups to meet new people and understand the market. This was when Amazon, Google, Netflix, and other big tech companies were laying people off left and right. Everyone was looking for a job, and they still are. There's a lot of people that are being laid off right now. So you just gotta get out there, meet new people, talk to other people, and see where they're coming from. You need to have just make sure you think about other perspectives that other people have, so that you can learn to grow from them as well. So from these networking events, I met several people who I started to work with. We volunteer for a lot of startups, and there's one specific startup that we volunteer for. It's in the fintech. So for 3 months, we worked on a real project together, and building and designing a responsive website, as well as a mobile app for a real company with real problems. But I'll talk about that more later. So here's the last note for adopting the invincible mindset, right? Remember, if you give up, then there will be no more progress. But if you keep on working on building that muscle, it's gonna get stronger, it's gonna get bigger, right? And that's what you want to do when you work out. Get stronger, resist more, and you'll just be more energetic in the future. So let's talk about career development. In order for you to build a portfolio of works, you need to work. And many people, including myself, have these hypothetical projects early on in our careers. And for me, it's user experience design. It's great to have something, but what's better is having something that's real, right? So how can you do this? How do you get real projects if Well, I'm gonna jump into that right now. So you need to volunteer. Volunteering is a great way to get real world experiences. And I'd say it's probably the best if you still have a lot of hypothetical projects or case studies that are not live, that are not on the internet, right? So with volunteering, you get to help organizations, local governments, and small businesses to further their developments. And you get to network with a lot of people that are in that sector already that you're working towards, right? So make sure you just bring yourself out there. Let people know that you're willing to work for free, and they're gonna see that, oh, this person is really responsive. They want to actively help me. Why not give them a chance, and then you'll have real work experience. And if you're already working, find a couple of people, find a couple of hours during the weekend to work on a volunteer project, and this will help your resume building as well. Letting recruiters and companies know that you are passionate about what you do. Remember, saying that you're passionate on your website is one thing, but showing that you're actually passionate about something is another. And doing something without pay will show that you're actually passionate, right? Like a lot of people just say that, oh, I'm passionate about this, but if you have a project or a case study that you can show off, that passion that you have, that's even better. And it's the actions that speak louder than words. Now, I'm also a freelancer, and that's where I make the bulk of my living because freelancing and everything, you're not bound to one thing. And as a freelancer, you can accept many different projects at once, and you can build your multitasking skill. So, local business and organizations. If you can't afford to volunteer, then help your fellow neighbors with their businesses and organizations. Word of mouth spreads fairly quickly, especially if it's local, right? So if you can help your local businesses make some money and they can afford your services, then you can build a relationship with them. So having real experience with businesses and organizations show that you have industry experience. Write up a contract, make a deal so that you're compensated for your time. And on top of that, you get experience. It's a win-win situation. This is what you want if you want to look for a full-time job, but you still don't have the time yet to commit to one. You can still do freelancing like that, and that's how you sort of break into the freelancing culture. But this, however, isn't without its hardships. Everyone likes free work done for them, but not everyone is willing to pay. It'll take practicing talking and communicating with what people want and what you can offer. So come up with plans and strategize. That's a whole different thing that you need to learn itself already, because freelancing is a whole another presentation that I could do, but maybe in the future. So essentially, this is what I do. I work with local businesses in my area as freelancer, and sometimes I do it remote with companies from California and Philadelphia in the United States. I build a team of designers who are also entrepreneurs. So we would cold call clients and do email marketing and just really jump into businesses day to day with different clients, multiple clients from different niches, so that we can just build our skill set, build our portfolios, and also hopefully in the future, if we have too much work, we'll just outsource it to other people as well. Now, let's move on to the next topic about career development, which are internships. There are paid and unpaid internships. These are good ways to get into established companies. Of course, paid internships are also competitive to get hired into, right? So I don't have much experience with internships, but I've heard many good things about them. Imagine a wider network that's available to you once you're in the internship, right? So make sure you keep internships in mind. Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and Amazon, they usually have a lot of free internships that they offer. So make sure you always go for that to apply to them. Now, the biggest topic that I want to get to is about fast tracking your portfolio. This is what me and your have been talking about the past few months, and we've been doing really well with it. Now, for me as a designer, a portfolio is needed, right? And the sweet spot for having projects under your belt is everyone has 3, but if you have 5, that's even better, because if you have 5, that means you show that you worked and you have more experience than the people who only show 3. So that's a kind of a numbers game that you show people, and really just shows that you have a little bit more experience than the average person. Just that will just differentiate yourself from a lot of competitors, right? So if you want to gain experience as fast as you can, volunteer or work with multiple organizations. If you want to gain experience as for this career path, like exponentially fast, then make sure you just accept all the projects you can. Of course, you gotta make sure these projects align with what you want to do, right? So, for my example, when I started out, I had about maybe 12 different ongoing projects, and I was working with a friend of mine that I actually met in one of the networking events in New York City, and yeah, we just kept on accepting all the different projects that I can get my hands on. But what I learned quickly is that not all projects are what you want to do in the future. So make sure you really read the fine line, learn, see if all the projects that are presented to you really align with your goals in the end, right? You gotta be ambitious with your goals. Be ambitious with your work as well, but also know your limits, because you don't want to overwork yourself, right? And or else you'll get tired and get bored easily. Burning out is a real thing. Ask Ayor. He had to deal with it as well. And you let me know a few weeks ago about how tired he was. So be a good judge of character. Don't just accept any project. Do research. Make sure you're actually interested in helping the companies that you're volunteering for. If you have fun, chances are you'll naturally put in more time and effort and creativity into them because you're enjoying it. So the website that I use to get 90% of my volunteer projects is called catchafire.org. Make sure you write that down, catchafire.org. And yeah, this will also be in the recording as well. So if you missed that, just make sure you watch it again. For me, I personally work very fast, and I also had a partner that helped me out. At our highest point, we had about 12 ongoing projects going simultaneously. So we were multitasking, jumping from project to project every single day with these 12 different groups. Awesome. Thank you for that link. Yeah, Catcher Fire is a great website where you can definitely get a lot of information, a lot of practice, and also work with real projects, right? Because we talk about working on real projects and having real case studies in your own portfolio that you can show off. So you can definitely use that to avoid having these hypothetical projects on your own. So so okay. So I had a few design projects from Catch a Fire, which I don't really like. They're too time consuming for me, but also a lot of web design and building. What we would do is we would let clients know that if they want projects live, they'll have to pay for the domain and hosting and the hosting on the platform. Usually we just use Squarespace, Wix, or any easy to use web building platforms, so that we can just design it on a Figma and then use the hosting platform, that the web design hosting platform that they want to choose based on the prices that you show them and some research that you show them, and just really build it out on that whole web platform. And they're super happy about that. So for big projects, we also set up a monthly sync where all of the stakeholders and us would do a Zoom meeting or Google Meets like this one, and each month we'll update our progress, making sure that there's something new and there's new plans going forward. Any minor updates, I just contact them via email. So what I usually do is, when I come up with a lot of designs, new designs and features on the website, I would let them know in that one meeting that we have once a month. Now, In order for you to fast track your portfolio, you need to work with others. Like that's what I've done so far. That's what I've talked about earlier. This is important because you can show that you're a team player. You'll be able to add multiple soft skills onto your resume. Working in a team environment, you'll also learn about yourself and also the work style that you have. If someone gives you a constructive criticism, thank them for it and understand that you learn how to do better. Communication makes everything a lot easier, and this is coming from an introvert. It just helps. Ask questions and really relay your messages. If they don't understand something, try to write it down, and maybe they'll understand it even better after that, right? So communicate, talk to people. Talking to people is key. You want to gather as much information as possible. If you assume without asking, you're likely to misunderstand and get it wrong. I always ask my clients, is this the vision you had in your mind? Will this help you? What is the style that you were thinking of? Right? Just make sure you gather all information. Don't assume, and really they appreciate that because you're taking the time, taking the effort to learn what they want to achieve, learn their goals, and see if you can help them execute better. Now, this next thing is really big, and it's networking the right way. After meeting thousands of people for the past half a year, I found out the hard way that what it really means to network with people, right? What is the main goal of networking? It's to get the job or a paid gig, right? Networking is a craft. It's an art form. 80% of the time, people do it wrong, and that's just a number I made up to intimidate you because that's what I feel. And I had no access to the internet while I was on a plane writing this whole speech. So I'm still working on improving my own networking skills right now, and I will continue to improve it in the future. It's a never-ending skill that you'll keep on building on, especially when there are new trends coming out. 80% of these people are doing meaningless networking. All they do is just go on networking events, say, hi, my name is, and then expect to get referrals or a job. That's not how it works. Some people just like to talk and mingle, and doing this will get you nowhere. Maybe you can grow your LinkedIn network, but that's about it. So make sure you need to learn how to network the right way. Don't worry if you're doing this now. It's a learning curve, and I think that everyone will have to go through the course of meaningless networking because that's how you build yourself, right? You need to, in order to build yourself, you need to fail hard, fail fast, and make sure that you're learning the ropes as long as you go on, right? So be sure to fail hard and network. Keep on networking. Just gotta practice and master that art, right? So now, for the right way of doing it, you've come this far while volunteering, working on your portfolio, and people you work with don't know that what your intentions are. They don't know that you're looking for work unless you specifically tell them. You've worked with your clients for weeks and even months already. You've built your rapport or a positive relationship through communication, and they love your work. This is all part of the plan from the beginning. Now, nearing the end of your volunteer work or contract, you'll want to schedule a one-on-one call with them. A one-on-one with each stakeholder, if there are multiple ones, right? So this is what I exactly did myself. So tell them, hello, thank you for meeting me. We're nearing the end of our contract or volunteer already, and I would like to tell you how much fun I had working with you because I had such a pleasant experience and we worked so well together. I would like to ask if you have any positions open at company XYZ. So making sure that you talk to people one-on-one and letting them know where you stand is really what you want to do in networking, because that's the whole reason, right? So that you can learn more about their company and see if they have any available positions for you. And sometimes you don't even need to go through an interview process because you already worked with them, and because if you had a pleasant experience with them and they loved you so much, just hire you on the spot, right? So not every job needs an interview, and if you do it this way, the chances are you might not need it. Now, what's the worst that can happen if you don't pull them on a one-on-one? If they say no, if what's the worst that I'm sorry, what's the worst that can happen if you do a one-on-one, but they say no? Then you ask them how you can improve. With a cynical mindset like mine, I think that the worst case scenario is just self-defense for me, and I keep myself from being overexcited and understand the possibilities. So that's why I always think, oh, they're not gonna hire me. Maybe I should just keep on applying to new things while doing this one-on-one, seeing if they have these availabilities open to me. So there was one company I worked with on the contract basis, and they loved my interactive prototypes, and they had nothing but good words to say. I did everything right, and they also wanted to work with me. But the fact is, they didn't have enough budget for me to be on board. And these things that are the things that you have to consider when the worst comes to worst. You have to consider facing when working in the real world. So yeah, this company that I work with on a contract, they love me, but unfortunately they didn't have enough money to bring me on board. So you need to make sure you face rejections and face them well. Just turn around and ask them how you can improve, right? And how you can be better. All you have to do is just turn these negative things into positive thoughts so that you can actually learn from these criticisms. Yeah. So that's the real thing in the world. You just gotta keep on going. And that's how you sort of bring that invincible mindset to work, right? If someone says no, think why they said no, or ask them how you can improve, and turn that negativity into positivity. So the best thing you can do is keep on going and never give up. As long as you improve yourself and connect with people the right way, you'll open up to more opportunities. Now, the best case scenario is they'll say yes. You'll be given more responsibilities and a contract or a part-time or even a full-time position. This is just the beginning to break into tech or set a course for a different path. The bottom line is, you know what you're looking for. Let others know what you're looking for, and if they like you, they'll put in effort to try to help you. That's the beauty of networking, networking the right way, right? Never assume people will reach out to you to help you out of the goodness of their hearts. Maybe some will, but rarely that'll happen unless you make it known. Be ambitious, always practice, and do good, and you'll be on the right track. I urge you to work with and collaborate with people on a project, get to know each other, and build a team. These are all important skills for you to have in any career, right? Being able to work with other people and just really hammer down all these projects, get to know each other more, and just really find more opportunities for yourself. Now, here are some bonus tips that helped me for the past few years. Learn fast with so the first one is ChatGPT. You can learn exponentially fast with ChatGPT. In our technologically advanced world, we need to keep up with these trends and the technologies that exist. ChatGPT is free to use, and it can help you learn at speeds that we never had access to literally a year ago. And what ChatGPT does is it's the equivalent. It's software. It's software that can scan the top websites, gather information from them, and just present to you in the long format. It's like reading a book report instead of reading the whole book itself. That's how powerful it is. Make sure you use these to your advantage to learn and just grow your knowledge. There's also other AIs that can also help you other than ChatGPT and those equivalent one software. Make sure you look it up. Use ChatGPT to look up what other AI software you can use. That's how crazy powerful it is, right? Now, you can with ChatGPT, you can see if certain topics are right for you before you even commit all of your time to doing full research. That's the crazy part about having these AIs to work with. make sure they work with you. There's also another AI that works really well, and it's called Leonardo AI. If you're an artist or a graphic designer, Leonardo AI is actually a generative AI for artwork. As a designer, as a graphic designer, I use I don't use generate and just give it to to my clients. No, I use Leonardo and generative AI in general just to get an idea, inspiration on how to on what I want to create. Right? If you have a guideline of what you want to create, you can show your clients to see, hey, this is what I came up with. Which one do you like? It just helps you work a lot faster as well. Now with YouTube is crazy powerful. I was talking to a couple of people before this call, and it's just really fun to do. YouTube existed for over a decade already, and you could just learn so much from it. So with YouTube, I do the 80-20 method, and most of the time I go on YouTube, 80% of the time is just learning stuff, and the rest of the 20% is for entertainment purposes. So, so I try to learn as much as I can, and especially with a such a competitive uh, atmosphere right now, you need to keep on learning, try to be better yourself, and really keep on building yourself and become and have that invincible mindset. Now, so with that in mind, that's the last tip I have for you for today, and really just thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much.
All right.
Now,
Thank you, Sam. All right. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate. Does anyone have any questions to ask? Please, if you have any questions, you can.
yeah, there
Um,
was a lot that I talked about, and yeah, so make sure you take your time to really just absorb some of the things I said, and just yeah, ask. If you have any questions, just ask away.
all right. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can just use the hand icon or the what's it called? Just raise your hand. Um, all right. Okay. You talked about networking some other time, and I
Yes.
have. Okay. All right. What about you want to network with people outside, outside the country, maybe outside from your country, then the major issue is that about the work permit, if you are able to,
Yeah.
the work
Hmm.
permit and so on, then what do you can you try to explain how someone can go about that, and then updating your portfolio, to the taste of the organization or company.
Okay. So let me try to understand the question itself. So they're asking about because of the time zone differences and working on
Yeah,
with different
exactly.
companies.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So for that, right? It depends on how bad you want that experience, right? So are you willing to stay up till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to work on a project? Because there's a lot of projects that I work with that include international people. So some of my teammates are based in India and also Australia. So what I do uh, is also a volunteer thing, right? But in order for us to communicate, I usually sometimes stay up around 3 a.m., 4 a.m. But if that's not the case for you, if you can't stay up that late, really make sure you have a source of communication, like a chat, or if you have Discord or Slack or something like that, to just put down your message, write down your message, so that you can relay messages to each other. That also works really well. And what I did also for when my team was in Asia to do research, what I also did is use Loom And what Loom is Loom is a free program where you can screen record and so that you can present or something like that. And in order for you to use it for free, you have up to I believe 5 minutes to present. So what you can do is record your messages in 5 minutes and just send it to each other so that they can just watch or read what your questions are or what just communicate. So make sure you use tools like that to help you communicate if you can't uh, communicate together one on one in live, right? So we call that asynchronization meetings because there's a huge time difference between me and the other country. So yeah, just keep that in mind for asyncs.
All right. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
Thank you for your time. And since no one has any questions to ask, I think we can, conclude the meeting. Uh,
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for amazing tech communities just to have me, and the ATC Africa just to have me on board for this presentation. Really honored, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. All right, bye. Have a great one.
Yeah.